All right, welcome to the Sports Guys, a special edition tonight. We're going to get into the Winter Olympics, which are less than a week away. We're having the opening night on February 6th. You can hear that lead-in music. Everyone knows that music since you're a little kid. It's so exciting. It's always on NBC. I think NBC does a really good job with the broadcast, and I'm just excited for these Winter Olympics. How you doing, Robbie?
Oh, I'm doing great. I'm so geeked for the Olympics. I am so pumped. This is one of my favorite sporting events by far. And the US doesn't tend to dominate as much in winter, but the events are so cool.
Do you find
I
yourself
love it.
riveted to every event? I mean, I'm watching
Yeah.
events I never would watch otherwise, but
Yeah.
because it's your country and you're against Russia or you're against China, or it's just there's something about the Olympics. There's just nothing like it.
Yeah. Just knowing how they're world-class athletes. And I was talking to Jess about it today that these are people that work their whole life literally towards this. And they never think they'll get there, but they like know if they just keep chipping away and keep chipping away, they can find a way to make the team. And then when they make the team, that's worth celebrating. But then they have to go compete against the best in the world. And and then it's over sometimes in like 28 seconds. And it's
Well,
heartbreaking and just so exhilarating when it goes right. That's really cool.
and you remember that video that Olympics does every time through NBC? They show that video where you show somebody having some unbelievable jump, like hitting the all-time record on the ski jump, and then
Yeah,
the next one is a downhill skier losing control and going off into the
wiping
net.
out.
And they're like
Yeah.
thrill of victory and agony of defeat, and that's really what it
Yeah.
is, and that's what
That's
makes
right.
it exciting. When you're watching.
And it's oftentimes just a tiny fraction of a second or a couple of inches to your left or to your right, and you're clipping a gate if you're skiing or, it's so cool. I mean, it's just so exciting to go against the best in the world and to see the face of the person who got the gold and worked so hard. They can't even believe it. Their family can't believe it. This is a very exciting Olympics too, because all the COVID restrictions are lifted. The
Hmm.
last Summer Olympics, they were lifted, but this is the first Winter Olympics where they are. So
Hmm.
all the athletes can get all the support from their friends and family in the Olympic Village, or there's rules still, but it's like the old days where they could have a lot of support and a lot of tourists can travel there, and they don't have as many restrictions on um, how many people can be in each venue and all that stuff. It's cool. This is the first Winter Olympics where all the restrictions are lifted from COVID.
The other thing I'll say they do a good job in the broadcast, and I really like it, is they give lots of backstories on every single athlete. Eventually, you start getting into these athletes, like
Yeah,
a wrestler from Iowa who was ranked 23rd in the world and he won the gold medal over the Russian guy. Total upset. Like who doesn't love a story like that?
yeah,
And
yeah.
these young people that are from these really small towns where their whole family put everything they had into getting them ready for this once in a lifetime event they might never get back
Right,
to, and
right.
they pull some kind of upset where we get the silver medal out of nowhere or something. It's just
Your
really,
point is
really
a good
exciting.
one. There's um there's a guy named Maxim Namov,
Hmm.
and he's gonna be so easy to root for because he's a 24-year-old guy, young guy. He's still got future Olympics ahead of him. But his parents were killed in that tragic plane crash that ran into that military helicopter in
But
DC
it's
area.
yeah, yeah.
And that poor guy, you know, they apparently they were famous skaters.
Hmm.
So he's doing this for them, and it's just so easy to root for him. It's
I
like,
know.
can you
It's
imagine what
true.
he went through?
And you look at the Team USA all the way across the board. To your point, these kids, they're so good looking. They're in such great shape. They take such good care of themselves. They're so well spoken. The whole
Yeah,
country's behind them. And I know everyone else feels that way too. If you're a Norwegian fan, obviously you love every athlete on the Norwegian team, and it's just fun. It's the whole world coming together in a music and sports festival that everyone can get behind.
right. And what's interesting too is it's so easy to have admiration for these people because I heard one of our females, cross country skier, was talking about how she believed all the um, athletes she's ever admired growing up she looked up to them all because they all looked like they had every element of their life under control. discipline in eating, working out when they didn't feel like it, steady regimen
Mhm.
of workouts, rebuilding your body, taking the injuries, rehabbing, sleeping right, eating right, routines, getting, their own jet lag schedules down to where they get better and better at being jet lagged in strange places, sleeping in weird hotels, competing, stresses of family life. Like these are people who have their life absolutely together to get it all to fire on the one day they need it to work for 28 seconds or five
Well,
minutes or whatever.
and then sometimes they do it and sometimes they don't. You've got situations where they've got feats of strength and precision that you've never seen
Well,
before.
well, her final point was that these people always appeared to her like such perfect humans, superhuman in most ways. And what she said is now that she's been there and done it, she realizes they're not. They're just normal people who just get a goal and won't stop until they either can't do it and get stopped or they get their gold medal. Like
No, but
they're gonna
they're
die
normal
trying,
people.
basically.
They're normal people that are doing
Yeah.
superhuman things. That's why it's so
That's right.
fascinating.
That's right. And so
Because they're doing
for
things
her,
we can't do.
it was an
Mhm.
epiphany to realize these are not people who are so different than me. These are
Mhm.
normal people who have an exceptional gift and they have the ability to harness all their focus on training this gift. And imagine how many times you'd rather go drinking with your friends or have that piece of pie or get every snack in the movie theater or, go to concerts and drink beer and whatever. Just all the indulgences. They don't get any of that because they can't afford the body fat and the setbacks in their training schedules and all that stuff. So they're willing to sacrifice to get there. So that's even more impressive is that they're not super gifted humans that are they're gifted in an area and they train it with discipline. And it's really discipline is doing things you don't want to do, really. So that's pretty cool.
So another special thing about this Olympics, of course, every 2 years we get one, either a winter or a summer alternating. But this one is held in my favorite country in the world to visit, and that is Italy. And the people are so great. The food is so great. Every time you turn a corner, there's a Roman ruin. There's museums everywhere. The mountains are unbelievable. And this Olympics is going to be held all over the country of this amazing place that we have come to love over the years. So, what's your feeling about Italy being the host?
So Italy is our country's our family's country of choice in visiting. It's a very special place. It's a fantastic topography for a Winter Olympics. But honestly, it could do a Summer Olympics too because of this southern Italy. So I'm very excited. The Alps are special. We skied there a bunch of times when we were living in France. We love the Italian Alps. The Italian people are amazing. The food's amazing. And the history there. There's no country in the world that has better history because there's nothing cooler than going to Rome and seeing,
The Circus Maximus and
the Circus Maximus and
yeah,
all the different Colosseum and
and
different
getting to go to the
structures.
Vatican.
And
Yep,
what's cool is it's like going to Greece, but Greece, the ruins are kind of run down and more knocked over and more damaged. Rome, you can picture the temple because it's almost all in front of you, but maybe the roof's off it or like a piece of it's missing. But it's so well preserved. The history of it, Tom, you run a history
hmm
podcast.
hmm
My family, our family loves history so much. There's no country more rich in history than Italy.
it's true. It's true. Interesting that this is the first Olympics in history that has two host cities. The first one is Milan, and they were just doing a little preview show showing that Milan gets literally no snow. I mean, they never get any snow every year,
Yeah.
and so it's interesting that that's kind of the corporate headquarters for this Olympics, and
Hmm.
then the Olympic headquarters is the little ski village of Cortina, which also held the Olympics back in 1956. So they're a two-time hoster now.
Yeah. Well, what I would say about that is they are holding up that this Olympics is special because it's the most spread out Winter Olympics that's ever happened.
Mhm.
And it's very wild. There's 116 events, eight new events with three debut events, 2,900 athletes for representing 90 countries and 16
Mhm.
different sports. as far as the locations, there's actually four locations. There's
Hmm.
one location, Milan, and then another location, they're calling it Cortina. But next to Cortina is Predazzo and Livigno. And those three mountain towns, small cities, are considered the Cortina area. But
Right.
really, there's three mountain cities and one city that's not near the mountains, that's holding all the rinks and a lot of the ones that don't revolve around a mountainside. So it's pretty cool. There's eight different sites along the Italian Alps that are being used. And what's cool too is that there is um, a sense of, first of all, there is a um, theme called Harmonia, which is harmony.
Hmm.
They've held up that this Olympics is going to be very much about um, sustainability. And what I think is really cool about this Olympics is that they started the events by saying, what can we use that's already here? What venues do we have that we don't have to build a whole new ice structure for the hockey and a whole new arena to hold the finale and the opening games,
Hmm.
build a whole new this and that. What they're doing is they took all these venues, so 97% of it are in venues that already existed.
Hmm.
And so that was really smart because what's happened over the last four Olympics is the cost got so prohibitive that the host country no longer makes billions, but loses money. And so this was a very intelligent way to make sure that you're actually going to make money. Use what you have now. And I'll give you an example. Hockey arena has very specific Olympic specs, right?
Hmm.
Well, the arena they already had was 3 feet shorter of a rink than the Olympic standard. They got permission to use it. So all they had to do is expand some of the seating and you got your hockey arena. So
Hmm.
um, they were smart. This is the future. What you're watching right here is the future because what they found was that the expense was so prohibitive. When I think about Atlanta and they built all those, structures and they just sit kind of empty and maybe you have a concert a couple times a year, but it's going to lose money just sitting there. And then they all atrophy. And if you're lucky, you can turn them into tourist destinations. I think of our trip to Norway,
You
but
you make a really good point because the last, like you said, four Olympics have lost money. The one that lost the most money was Sochi, which is in southern Russia and is right on the
yeah,
coast. They essentially picked the wrong city, and what they found
yeah.
was all the different events were all melting, and they kept having to refresh them. They lost $30 billion in that Olympics. That's a lot of money.
Well,
And
it wasn't a mountain town. Like it made no
right,
sense. They had to
right.
create snow from zero. So
So what happened was these countries that are now hosting, you're right, you made a really good point that they
yeah,
have to do it in a smarter way and not bankrupt
yeah.
their countries. Or
So
else
what
you
they had to
just
do
can't have it.
was expand seating areas, tweak some of the facility the way it is, but like not a massive expense, but a small expense. And you'll get that back dramatically. This games is going to make money.
Hmm.
This games right here is going to
Agreed.
make money because of the way they did it. Very
I
smart.
completely agree. So I wanted to call out before we go to the slides. You see behind Rob, we have a new logo we created for these really special 2 weeks, and that's the Sports Guys logo with the Winter Olympic theme. You can see it behind me as well with the Milano Cortina logo. And so going to be really cool to kind of follow this throughout the 2 weeks, and we'll bring it to you throughout how Team USA is doing.
We're so geeked about the Olympics that we had to go and make a new logo just for the Olympics.
Also,
That
wanted to
that
tell
tells
you
you
guys,
something.
watch this program tonight all the way through. Not only do we have a lot of good stuff for you, but at the very end, we're going to show you a couple clips from our Norway trip, which was one of our most popular videos ever. And there's a couple clips in there that are really fun. They're going to show you some of the winter related sports that we did while we were there. Mainly Rob did, and I was the cameraman. So we're going to show you some fun clips there at the end. So watch this program all the way through. So, Rob, are you ready to get into it?
Yeah, let's go.
Here we go. This is our Milan Cortina 2026 Winter Olympics preview show. episode 109. I mentioned that great logo to the left there that we created just for this episode. And also to the right, you see the U.S. Olympic team logo and the International Olympic Committee logo. And the official logo down at the very bottom right of Milano Cortina 2026. I thought that was kind of an interesting logo that got picked. They had a nationwide contest and they had 1,800 entrants into the logo contest, and this is the one that won. So pretty interesting. Another great picture there in the middle of one of my favorite events, which is ski jumping. I told you, Robbie, I like to watch things that people do that are things that I cannot even come close to doing.
Same.
Like going to a
Same.
concert and watching someone sing or play guitar like Eddie Van Halen. I like that because I
Yep.
can't do it. Same thing in the Winter Olympics. Most of these
Yeah.
events, I watch with awe as these people do
I
it.
agree.
And then there in the top center is a picture of the real live Five Rings, and that is the little village of Cortina that's going to be hosting a lot of the events. So again, any other preview comments you want to make before we get into it on the Cortina Olympics?
Just there's so much cool stuff with this that's going to be coming out. Keep your eyes open for all the themes, the amazing stories. They make you kind of fall in love with all the athletes. They do a really good job of marketing. I wish that the people who put these stories together, the NBA should hire them to tell
They
the
should.
story of
They
the
should.
next draft pick of the Milwaukee Bucks or you know what I mean? Like the the major leagues that we have in the US, the big four, they could really use these people's skills because they do such a good job of telling a compelling story about
And you know what they
struggle,
and you know
sacrifice, and drama and
it's
overcoming.
so true. It's so true. And do you know what they call those little 3-minute bits about each athlete? Do you know what they call
No,
those?
what are they called?
Packages. And
Oh,
I
okay.
always wonder what you're saying is true. Why does NBC do such a good job in every single Olympics with these little packages? And why can't the other sports pick that up and do a better job of marketing their athletes?
I'm not
I
sure.
completely agree with you.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's production value. I don't know if they have a lot of time. I mean, if you think about it, you got 2 years to get ready for the next one. So
true.
we do
There's
have a lot
plenty
of
of time
time.
to send your reporters out to,
Right.
an American ice skater who lives in Portland, and then,
Exactly.
I get it, but it's cool the way they do it. And certainly if the big leagues in the US could figure out how to get these people to do a mini version or a quicker version, that would be
Hmm.
awesome.
It's
One
true.
thing I would say is there are mascots um,
Hmm.
in this Olympics. There are two mascots, and they are stoats. And I had to look up what a stoat is. Do you know what a stoat is?
I don't.
It is a close relative of a weasel, but it's a little bit bigger.
Hmm.
It's a carnivore.
Hmm.
So the stoat in Cortina, representing Cortina, is Tina, and the one representing Milan is Milo.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's kind
Well,
of
that's
fun.
pretty
So
cool.
keep an eye out
I
for
like
these
that.
little stoats that are going to be the mascots that are going to be showing up in different places. It's gonna be
Milo
kind of
and
fun.
Tina. I like that.
Tina and Milo.
Yeah,
Tina is representing Cortina, and Milo is representing Milan.
very cool.
Yeah.
So these 2026 Winter Olympics will run from February 6th, which is Friday coming up, to the 22nd. So it's about 2 weeks of action. Every single day, all day long, it'll be on. So I know a lot of people will be trying to slip home from work or work from home and try to watch this
Yeah.
action as it's going. It'll be on 6 different NBC related channels. So you're going to
Hmm.
have to really kind of search around to find the sport that you're looking for. They'll be held in Milan and Cortina d'Ampezzo, Italy. And like you said, there's a lot of different resorts around there. If you look at the map to the right, you see where Milan is. It's essentially just west of the center of the country.
Hmm.
And you see where Verona is, which is where the closing ceremonies are going to be. So Milan, February 6th, Verona on February 22nd. And then up to the far right, which is the northeast of the country, you see Cortina and D'Ampezzo and Rasen and Rono and Predazzo. These are all locations where they're going to have events all up
Hmm.
in the north and northeast of the country.
Yep.
And I find that interesting, Robbie, because where we used to ski is over there west of Milan, right on the
Hmm.
French border. We used to go to
Yep.
all the different places over there, Bardonecchia and other events over there,
Hmm.
and other resorts over there. So why do you think that they went northeast and not northwest?
I have no idea. I'm sure they have reasons as far as more stable weather environment, maybe more uh, reliable snow base, so they don't have to create as much. And
Hmm.
maybe the venues themselves are more set up for racing. Maybe that's where they normally have their races. It's closer to Germany. The Germans and the Italians really compete a lot in a lot of these sports. So I don't know. It's a good
And
question, but
maybe,
I'm
and
sure they
maybe you're
have
right.
reasons.
Maybe you're right. Maybe they already had more existing structures in the Cortina
Yep.
area, so it just made more sense. So yeah. So this Olympics, like you said, was going to feature 2,800 athletes and 116 events. And these Winter Olympics will be the first games officially hosted by two cities. You see the official bidding result. It came down to Italy and Sweden for this particular Olympics, and Italy edged out Sweden 47-34 on the Olympic board. So it was pretty interesting. And there was one abstention, which I was kind of like, why would they abstain from the vote? But anyway,
Uh-huh.
Stockholm apparently was very close to winning this one, and apparently was given assurance after this vote that they will be getting a Winter Olympics very soon. So that'll
Hmm.
be kind of neat to see Sweden host one of these
We
Olympics.
might have to go to that one.
We might have to. Might have to.
Sports
Uh,
guys are going to Sweden for this.
from Stockholm, yeah.
That'd be cool.
So you see the two venues where you're going to have the opening and the closing ceremonies. This will be the furthest apart an opening and a closing ceremony will ever be. Typically, they're in the same stadium,
Mm-hmm.
but it hasn't always happened. There actually have been occurrences where they're in different stadiums, but usually they're in the same city or very close. And this one is a 5-hour drive away. So, thoughts about why they would try to do that?
Oh, very simple. These are the best venues for the opening and the closing, and so they're just making it happen. The opening is in the San Siro Stadium. AC Milan and Inter Milan play there. It can
Hmm.
hold a lot of people. A very versatile, modern stadium, and so it's perfect for what they want to do for their opening ceremony.
And by the way,
And
that
then,
is their national sport, which is football or soccer. So obviously, their
right,
best clubs will have the really nice stadiums. Yeah.
yeah. So in the sustainability idea, go with what you already have. So you have to build a lot less. So it's a lot
Hmm.
cheaper to prepare, and go with an awesome existing structure. So you don't have to get halfway through and realize all these cost overruns, delays, all that stuff. So they were smart there. And then the closing ceremony, Verona's Roman Arena, they want people to have a lasting impression of how much history is wrapped up in this beautiful country, this amazing country.
Hmm.
And it's a 2,000-year-old amphitheater. So it'll be very memorable as they snuff out the torch and they say, until next time. I think they're hoping to put an incredible stamp on
Hmm.
a, a huge the Olympics is a big advertisement for your country.
It is.
And Italy understands this. They do tourism about as well as anybody in the world, and they're going to be really smart with this. They're going to use the best venues they have. They kept their expenses as low as possible. And when there's worldwide inflation, they are certainly very intelligently approached this, and they had a good package put together. That's why they beat out Sweden. I'm sure Sweden was very widely thought of as a good option as well.
What's
But
interesting is it's as if Italy needed help in tourism anyway, because people don't usually need a reason to go to Italy, but it is very smart the way they're packaging this, and
yeah,
they'll get nothing but uplift from it, I think. So
in doing this
interesting.
research, I absolutely want to go to Italy. Watching, reading what I'm reading, I have to go to Milan. I want to go to Milan. It's got
Absolutely.
so many cool things. As
We
I've
should go to
studied this,
Milan and go to an AC Milan match. I mean, that would just be the ultimate, I think.
yeah,
So
I
just
just
guys out
I
there,
want to go to Milan so much now.
just know Rob and I and the sports guys wish we were at these Olympics right now. Let's just
Yeah,
put it that way. So looking at the medals, Robbie, they're pretty cool. You see right there, you got the
yeah,
official logo on one side and the Olympic logo on the other. And on July 15th, 2025, the official medals of the games were unveiled in Venice. And what they've been trying to do for the cities that are not in the overall hosting schedule for these events, they're trying to give them some kind of aspect of the Olympics. And so they let
yeah,
Venice do the unveiling of the Olympic medals. And they're meant to symbolize the culmination of an athlete and a para athlete and their journey for all those that have walked beside them along the way and helped them get there, their parents,
mm,
their other support people. So that was
Yep.
the idea
Tremendous
behind these
support,
medals. Yeah. And they feature
mentoring, teammates, coaches, everything. Yeah.
the essential design that places emotion and teamwork at its core, which is what the theme of these Olympics are: emotion and teamwork. That's what they want the Olympics to say. And they had the traditional Olympic five ring symbol on one side, and of course, the inscription on the reverse of the official venue that you won it, and also the logo from the Olympics. So it's kind of cool that you also get the venue where you won it.
Mm-hmm.
So, man, what would it feel like to win an Olympic medal like that? Goodness. It's going to be fun to watch. So let's talk about, we
Can't
did
wait.
18 months ago, Robbie, we did our preview show for Paris. And of course, the Paris Olympics were very special to us because we went to high school there. And it was fun to have Paris host the summer. And we did that preview show. And we talked about the history of the Summer Olympics. Well, this time, let's get into the history of the Winter Olympics. And the first Winter Olympics were held in Chamonix, France in 1924. And they were not even called Olympics at that time. They were called the International Winter Sports Week before being designated the official inaugural games in 1926. So 2 years later, they were called the Olympics after the event was already over. And you can see
Mm-hmm.
what the logo of Chamonix was there to the right. Kind of an interesting symbol there with the French flags and people bobsledding. And you
Mm-hmm.
can see these fantastic photos from Chamonix. Back then, in those days, all the events were held outside. Every single event, including the opening ceremonies, were all held outside. So, in terms of the inaugural games, they had 250 athletes from 16 countries competing in 16 different events, including figure skating, ice hockey, speed skating. Norway won the medal count like they usually do. The second games were held 4 years later in St. Moritz, Switzerland, the first time the Winter Games were held in a different city than the Summer Games. And then from 1924 to 1992, for most of the first century, the Winter and Summer Games took place in the same year, beginning in 1994. And what they were trying to do, Robbie, is what you're talking about. They were trying to be really efficient, have them in the same year, have them in the same city, and then have that city host them just 6 months apart and use the same venues for, practical purposes. So they didn't have to build so many venues. And then
Yeah.
in 1994, they moved them to alternating even numbered years and had them in different cities. So it's really been pretty recent, actually, where we've had
Mm-hmm.
Winter Olympics be separate. Number of
Yeah. I remember
events,
the switch. I remember it.
I remember it too. The number of events in participating countries has grown significantly. Major additions, including snowboarding, curling in 1998, and many, many other events, as you know. Some of the key milestones in 1948, the second time St. Moritz hosted the Games, marked the return after a 12-year hiatus due to World War II. So I thought that was really interesting, is that they didn't have the Winter Olympics for 12 years because of the wars that were going on in Europe.
Just rebuilding wasn't a priority to build new venues. It was getting people's lives to
Well,
improve and get,
well, it was just survival. I mean, they're just,
infrastructure.
I
Yeah.
mean, you're just trying to survive the attacks from neighboring
Yeah, but I
countries.
mean, 12 years, it's clearly you're still rebuilding
Yeah.
after the level of damage World War II did.
Recent trends in the 2000s have shifted more and more events towards high action extreme sports, with many being added because of the 21st century. And of course, they're trying to attract younger
Mhm.
viewers and younger participants. So, what do you think about that? About, we've had some of the originals stay, but we've added a lot of more extreme and more exciting high
I'm
aerial type sports.
I'm excited. They brought back some of the sports that haven't been around, like skeleton, for instance. We'll talk about it, but it was banned for 50 years because it was so
Mhm.
dangerous, and they're bringing it back. So it's kind of cool. Like instead of us all moving into everyone bubble wrapped and afraid of getting hurt, we're kind of getting a little more danger events put in there.
Mhm.
And I think that's really cool. There's many other examples. The women jumping on the larger hill on the ski jumps. Um,
Mhm.
it's this Olympics is um, a little more dangerous than
Mhm.
it had been, kind of trending away from. So I
And you
like
can
it. I
see
think
the
it's
extreme sports are a big part of it because they're trying to attract younger viewers and
yeah,
participants, and that just makes sense. You want the next
yeah,
generation. So,
yeah.
what do you think it'd be like for the curling team this year for the U.S. to be playing against these old guys out on an old lake with a rough surface? not perfect conditions, wind.
Crazy, you know?
These current curling guys, they're so used to like the perfect conditions indoors, perfect
Yeah.
ice. So it's
Yeah, it would
interesting.
be a different animal, but maybe not as precise, but
And you notice the hockey guys didn't wear helmets back then.
no.
It's crazy. So,
And it was all amateurs.
so looking back 4 years ago in Beijing was the host in China. This is the 2022 Olympics medal count. Norway for the second Olympics in a row came in first with 37. They had a really fantastic Olympics 4 years ago, and I don't
Yeah.
expect anything different this time. By the way,
And Tom,
they dominate.
Norway, our trip to Norway, our eyes were opened as to how athletic these people are. I
It's
mean,
true.
they
They run up
are
mountains.
they're running straight up mountains all the time, riding bikes everywhere at a fast speed. They have this thing in Bergen, it's surrounded by seven uh, mountains where everybody climbs all seven in one day. I
Hmm.
mean, they're very active people beyond what we can even imagine. Like what we
Hmm.
saw, our eyes were opened. Like it
It's
was
true.
awesome. And so the fact that they have good athletes coming out of that pool of people that are so active, and Tom, we were climbing tremendous amounts of stairs to go to high peaks, and I mean,
It was amazing to watch these athletes. We were just in awe the whole time we were there. It's true.
yeah,
But
they
does it
run straight
surprise
up a
you that
mountain.
a country of 8 million people can be this dominant over countries of
Not with
Germany
what
has
we saw
almost
with the
100 million.
athleticism. Not
Germany
with
has
what
almost
we saw.
100 million people, and the United States has almost 330 million people, and
Tom,
Norway
we
has
lived
8
in Europe
million.
multiple times, and
Yeah,
I do not ever remember seeing a people like that that were that active.
yeah,
It was awesome. It was wild.
it's true. So Norway comes in first and also wins the gold medal race. Germany second with 27. USA third, which is a pretty good showing for the U.S. Robbie, do you know the last time the U.S. won the Winter Olympic medal count?
No, I don't.
It was 2002 Salt Lake City Olympics. We were at home,
Okay.
and we won it by one medal over China.
They do say that the
So
home field is seriously strong for both
yes,
summer and winter Olympics. The home team always does really well.
and so I wanted to ask you about that. Do you think this Italy at 17? They're way down the table. Do you think that you see them a lot higher this time? Do you think they'll get a little
Yeah,
bit of a home lift?
I think so. There's no doubt. I mean, it's not 100% guaranteed, but if I had to bet, I would absolutely say they're gonna do one of their best medal counts they've ever had. I would think
I think so. I think so too.
at least
And
medal
then
count, maybe not gold, but
and then you see China in there at four, and then what you see is what you and I talked about off air last night, which is essentially all the rest of Europe: Sweden, Netherlands,
the Alps,
Austria,
basically
Switzerland.
countries on the Alps.
Yeah, Russia's in there,
Yeah,
France, Canada,
yeah.
Japan is really good in the skiing events and skating. So what you see, even Slovenia and Finland are down there. So what you see here is Europe really dominates these Olympics, and for good reason, right? I mean, they just have so many different ski resorts and Winter Olympic sport venues.
Hmm.
So if you look to the right there, it shows the different disciplines. I thought this was interesting. Speed skating has the most medals to hand out with 42, freestyle skiing at 40, cross country at 36, alpine skiing, and then biathlon, which is the event you like so much.
Love it.
So, so you can see why these European countries dominate in the medal counts because a lot of those are their sports. These are their disciplines.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
so where do you think this is going to look here on the 22nd? You think it's
I
going to be
think it's to look
something?
similar to this again. I don't know if China's going to be up there, but I think the Scandinavian countries and all countries on the Alps are going to be, and Germany. Germany's not on the Alps, but um, I think all those countries do really well every year, and there's no reason to believe they won't again.
Mhm. I agree with you. So we'll see what happens. The Olympic torch, the modern Olympic torch tradition began in 1936, blending ancient Greek rituals with a new relay concept introduced for the Berlin Games in 36. While the Olympic flame first appeared in 1928, it was not until 36 that the torch was lit in Olympia, Greece, and then carried to the host city. Today, this
Mhm.
tradition symbolizes peace, friendship, and the continuity of the games from one to the other. And you can see up top there what the torches look like for the Milan Cortina games. And in terms of the actual relay for these games, they started on November 26, 2025, with a flame lighting in Olympia, Greece, and then
Mhm.
conclude this Friday at the opening ceremonies in Milan.
Mhm.
And they
And
coincide with the,
in between there, it landed in Rome after traveling around Greece. It landed in
yes,
Rome on December 4th. So
yep,
it went around Greece quite a bit, then landed in Rome on December 4th, and then went out and hit a whole bunch of different parts of the country. And then it's ending up in Milan
yep.
uh
To your
on
point, it
February
says
6th.
here it went to 13 different regions in Greece, and then it's going to go to 110 provinces in Italy, making
Yeah.
60 stops over 63 days. And it's going to
Yeah.
travel 7,500 miles. That's incredible.
That's amazing. It really speaks to the spirit of the Olympics, just how powerful the coming together of all the countries is and how much tradition is involved in this. And even though that hasn't been going on for all that long, 100 years maybe, prior to that, it's thousands of years of having world games and stuff like that. So this is sort of the highest level of world games that exist.
What do you think of this
I love it.
tradition? Are you glad that they continue at every single Olympics?
I love it. I think it's such a cool symbolic thing of it starts in Olympia and it goes around where the games were created and invented, and then it goes to the host country and it goes all around there, and it burns the entire time the Olympics are going, and they always have some really high energy, cool lighting ceremony, and then they have a cool ending ceremony where they snuff it out.
I'm never
And
going to forget when
I love
Muhammad
it.
Ali did it in 1984. That was one of the greatest
Yeah.
moments in Olympic history when he did
Yeah,
it,
and
even
then
though he struggled a
he
little bit, but he did it, and it was just
he
fantastic.
lit the arrow, and then the guy fired it up into the cauldron, and
Mhm.
it
So
was
cool.
so cool. You
And
know
then
what
at
I
the end,
remember in Norway when we got to climb up the stairs of the where they had the cauldron, the,
mhm,
the torch.
yep, Lillehammer.
Yeah, very cool.
That was super cool. Yeah, Lillehammer was a really cool Olympic city. I was really glad we got to go there.
So one cool thing about I've already told you that the theme of this Olympics is harmony, so harmonia. But the motto of the Olympics, it has a motto also. It's your vibe, and it's capital IT. It's your vibe, and the IT is for Italy. So they're trying to come up with some cool marketing stuff. So
That is cool.
keep an eye out for that whenever you're seeing the different marketing
So,
stuff.
Robbie,
And
if they asked you to carry the torch and run it for a mile, would you do it?
yes, yeah, I'd love
Be a
that.
once in a lifetime thing, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
You'd have to just get in shape for it.
yep.
Yeah, that'd
I
be
always
fun.
want to know, what do they do when they're running it through rain? Like,
It's true. It's
or
always sad
snow.
when they snuff it out at the end on the 22nd when they snuff it out. It's sad.
It is, but it gives you hope that it'll be lit again before you know it.
So we talked about Cortina. Italy is the second time host of the Winter Olympics. There's several second time hosts. Chamonix, France, of course.
Mhm.
Norway's had it several times. Milan Cortina 26 will be very different from the first Cortina, which was in
56.
1956. You see the logo there to the right. That's what it looked like, the
Hmm.
1956 logo. And you can see what the events were in 56. There were 24, and now there's 116. There were
Hmm.
32 countries, and now there's 93. And there was 11 days of competition, and now there's 19 days of competition. So, what is your thought about how the Winter Olympics just keep growing and growing every single year?
I mean, we've already talked about how geeked up we are for it, and the reason is because it's so exciting. But the coolest part is to involve the entire world, and almost everybody's involved. There are countries that are very warm; they're not going to have competitive teams and all this stuff, and that's okay. But they usually do well in the summer games. So
Mm-hmm.
usually most countries are either good at one or the other. It's very rare that teams are competitive in both. There's a tiny handful of teams, including Team USA, that's competitive in both. I would say if there's one that we struggle in a little bit harder, it's the winter.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what's so cool is when we get these gold medals, it is really time to celebrate because it's not our strongest suit. America, by and
Although,
large, is not a very cold place.
although you look at the United States and we still come in third or second. I mean, we still do pretty darn
Yeah.
well in the Winter Olympics.
Well, we have
Even
our
though some of
Wisconsin and our
the-
Minnesota entrance into this,
in
and
Colorado and
in
yeah.
Colorado, and
Mhm.
so there are places in the U.S. that really hold down snow and get cold. But the majority of Americans live in warm places, warmer
Mhm.
places. And so that's why we're not as dominant in this. But we're always competitive, and that's all you can really ask for is we want to be
That's right.
top 4 or 5 in every event. We want an American, and
That's
that
true.
happens a lot. So that's pretty cool.
So some of the new events, you and I talked about a couple of these. In Milan Cortina, we'll have a couple new events. There's 8 new medal events total,
Hmm.
increasing the total to 116, the most in Winter Games history. And some of the highlights are the debut of ski mountaineering, along
Hmm.
with mixed team skeleton, women's double luge, dual moguls, and women's large hill ski jumping. So pretty cool to see that all those different things. You mentioned ski mountaineering. The nickname for it is skimo, and there's
Emo,
a
yeah.
picture of it right there to the right. The guy doing skimo. It's a new sport. What have you read about this skimo, and what is the discipline like?
Schemo. I mean, it's probably the most grueling because you have to ski up the mountain. Um, you get most of the way to the top, and then you take your skis off and run the rest of the way up, and then you take them and then put them back on and ski all the way down. So, I can't imagine how much your quads are burning skiing down because it took so much to get up the hill. But it's got elements of mountain climbing. It's got elements of uphill cross country skiing, and it's got elements of downhill skiing.
You
So
got to do all three.
it's
Yeah, it's a
it's
three
it's
discipline.
unbelievable. I mean,
I like that.
your quads are the strongest muscle in your body, and they burn the most. That's why skiers, it's such a good workout to be burning with the muscle expenditure of some of the skiing events, and to go up and then back down. I cannot stress enough how much you have to be in incredible shape to do that.
What kind of athlete do you think these guys and girls need to be?
Ridiculous. I mean, just no body fat. Whatever they do have is strategic. They have to be powerful. They have to be mentally strong,
And you've
and they
trained
have
your whole life essentially for it,
incredible
for years.
stamina, incredible cardio capabilities, and high skill level in the event that you're in. So you have to have been doing this a long time for the most part, or something similar to it. A
Are
lot
you
of the
looking?
speed skaters were doing inline skating, not even on ice. So that they got a lot of the motions down, and then they switch over to ice skating, and they pick it right up. And so you can short circuit your training that way a little bit, but for the most part, you have to put in the time.
Are you looking forward to seeing what this looks like live?
Yeah, yeah, I am.
I am too.
I
There's
am. I've
three
I've seen
versions of it.
videos. I've seen videos of it, but I've never seen like a live event.
I feel like the Norwegians would be good at this.
Yeah.
So there's three versions of it: the men's sprint, the women's sprint, and the mixed gender relay. And they say essentially that you have the men do the uphill all the way to the top, and then the women ski it down on the other side. So I think that's interesting. You have
Hmm.
a relay. Next event is freestyle skiing. Men's and women's dual moguls have been added. And now they have this really interesting idea of head to head racing on adjacent mogul courses,
Hmm.
where you have to do the exact same moves and jumps, and it's the first one to the bottom.
Yeah,
So I
and
don't
it's
know how.
wild because there's an element of art form that you get graded on for
Right,
creativity, and then there's an element of who finishes first and stuff like that. So
right. And they said
there's
you
the
can't skip an
artistic
element.
and
You can't skip an
athletic put
element.
together, and each judge is watching something different and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
it's real cool the way they do it.
And you can't miss an element. So it's not like you can skip something to get faster. So you have to do the element as quickly as possible. So it's that's gonna be really interesting. Skeleton you mentioned is back. It has been in the Olympics before. They got rid of it because they felt like it was too dangerous. There were a lot of people getting injured. You now also have the mixed team competition that will debut in skeleton as well, where you have a
Mhm.
man-woman combination. What's your
Yeah,
thought
that's
about?
really cool. That's really cool because they have to go down to the end of their run, and they have to hit like this mechanism, and it allows the next person's gate to go up, and so
Hmm.
it's a real relay. It's
It
cool.
is. It is. Then you now have on the luge side, we already had men's doubles, but now women's doubles has been added. You see a picture there at the bottom right of the women's doubles event. They've
Mhm.
had that at the World Championship, the last two World Championships, and now it's in the Olympics. So that'll be interesting to see the women do the doubles. Ski
Yeah.
jumping, women now are on the large hill. They used to be a little shorter hills for the women
Hmm.
versus the men. And now they've made it gender neutral, and the women are going to have the large hill as well as the short hill. So thought about the women doing the large hill now.
I love it. I think they can do just as good a job, handle it. They're powerful with their release, and it's terrifying being up there. Believe me, it's
We're going to show
terrifying.
a little later Rob's clip of him doing the zip line down the large hill. But Rob, can you imagine jumping off that thing on skis
No.
and going
Yeah,
down that
actually,
hill?
I could imagine it. That's the whole experience was just
No,
putting your
but
mind in
actually
that
doing it and not killing yourself is my point.
and just what it would be like to be zipping down there and you're about to jump. And the amazing thing is you're never that far off the ground. Um, but so the ground falls out from under you at the same rate that you're falling, kind of. So for the most part, but it's still a tremendous because if you were to wipe out, I mean,
Well,
when
I've
they
always
fall,
loved
it's unbelievable.
it's one of my top three or four events since I was a little kid in the Winter Olympics is ski jumping. I really love watching it. First, because as I told you, I always like to watch things I can't do myself. But
Yeah,
secondly, it's literally like they're flying. I mean, they're up there a long time in the air.
they are.
And for them to come down perfectly and set it down perfectly every time, it's really
I know.
amazing to watch.
It is. It
Yeah.
is.
So last event here is alpine skiing. This is a team combined event that'll debut, featuring one athlete in downhill and the other in slalom for a combined score. So that's going to be cool. And apparently they've got team combinations of men and men, women and women, and then they have the man-woman combination as well. Those are all going to be really
Mhm.
cool events. So
Yep.
I really like watching the slalom. I think the super combined and all the different slalom events are really cool.
Right.
So also the women's cross country event has now increased to 50 kilometers to match the men. They used to be at 38 kilometers, so a little shorter. And the Olympics has essentially gotten rid of all differences between men and women, and now the women do all the big courses. So
Not entirely, but they've gotten rid of most of them. Now there's a
mhm.
tiny handful of differences, but they've done a good job of trying to be as gender neutral as possible. And there's not a great explanation, some of them, as to why women can't compete just along the same course as men
Do
against
you
each
think
other.
that this gives the Europeans an even bigger advantage? They're in such amazing skiing shape already. And now you add 12 kilometers to the women's race. Does it give
I don't know if it does or
Norway,
not. I mean,
Sweden,
they already have this
Finland?
advantage. I'm not sure it makes anything different.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they've been training for it for 4 years, so I guess there's really no excuse at this point. So,
Yeah.
going to be fun
And
to
a lot
watch
of
the
the
new
Europeans
events.
have been training in these mountains for their whole life, so
It's true.
it's very difficult.
Let's look at the Team USA stars to watch. The first one's River Radamus. He's an alpine
Mhm.
skiing guy. These are the people I highlighted, by the way, that they think have the best chance at a medal. One of the things, Robbie, I really love about the Olympics is that all the people we're going to show here may get a medal or may not, but we're going to have several surprises that come out of nowhere. And I
Hmm.
really love those stories when the guy's, 15th in the world and he wins the gold or something.
Yeah.
I
Or he's
love
coming
those
back from
stories
a terrible injury or
where they
whatever.
come out of nowhere and they're not expected to win a medal and they do, or even if they win a
Yeah.
bronze or something.
Yeah.
Amber Glenn is our best shot for women figure skating,
She's
although
one of three. Yeah.
we have three that are going and three that are very good, but they think she's
Hmm.
got the best shot at a medal. Who
I
knows?
think
Maybe
so.
one of the other two.
She's 26 years old, experienced. She's really put in the time, and this is her time. There are
Right.
two younger Americans, and we feel like they're the future. And I don't know if their future is right now or if they'll do even better at the next Olympics,
Although
but we're very excited about Amber Glenn.
I will say Amber Glenn is exciting. I think she will win a medal, but I will say you just don't know in figure skating. This is one of the most unpredictable sports because she could have two falls and she's out of
Yeah.
it. And then one of our other American girls who comes out of nowhere, has never been heard of before, could like get the silver medal just out of nowhere. So it's
Right.
just it's a strange
All,
sport to try to predict.
all you can do is go with what's been happening in the last year or so. And
Hmm.
Amber Glenn has won 3 straight national titles,
Yes,
and that hasn't been done since Michelle Kwan. So
right.
um, there's a good chance that she has that kind of a performance again. But
Yep.
you see all these examples of people falling and struggling.
So she
So
has not won a medal yet, but we're thinking she might. We'll see. We'll be watching carefully. Ryan
yep.
Cochran Siegel. This is his
Oh yeah.
second Olympics. He got a silver in the last Olympics
Hmm.
4 years ago in alpine skiing. So he's a real good entrant into that. He's entering 3 different events this time. So it'll be fun to see if he can repeat his performance. Aaron Jackson, who 4 years ago electrified the world with a very surprise gold medal in speed skating.
Yeah.
And she's back and she says she wants to repeat her title. And when I
She's
saw the
incredible.
interview with her, she seems really serious about it. I wouldn't want to get in
Yeah.
her way. So,
Yeah. She won in Beijing in 2022.
yep, yep, she was incredible and really kind of out of nowhere. Troy Podmilsack, freestyle skiing. He's had some real success at the last 2 world championships and big events that he's been in.
Hmm.
Brittany Bowe in speed skating has 2 bronzes. She wants to try to take on Erin. We have 2 really great skaters. So we'll see if this rivalry comes out on the ice.
Hmm.
Jordan Stoltz, who's the male, who's the best speed skater for the U.S. and has the best shot at a medal. Hasn't won one yet, but
Yeah.
excited to see how he does. Kendall
Me
Coyne
too.
Schofield, this is her third Olympics. She's got a gold and 2 silvers. And the 2 silvers, of course, in both of those games, we lost to Canada in the final. So it feels
Yeah.
like it's either
Like
U.S. or
men's.
Canada every 4 years.
Yeah.
And I know this USA team is very focused on Canada and making sure that the
Very.
U.S. gets back on the gold podium.
We do have a number of star female players for the hockey team that I think could carry us. I'm
I
excited
do
about
too.
our women's team.
I love the women's and the men's hockey tournaments. I
Mm.
really
We
enjoy
also
them.
have Layla Edwards,
Hmm.
and she's a star.
She is. Then we have Lindsey Vaughn, who had an unfortunate accident this past week, trying to come back after being retired for 4 years. She missed 2022. She's got a gold and 2 bronzes, and she's had a really historic career. She's won the world championships 5 times in downhill. So
Yeah, it
she's
was really
probably,
cool. I saw an interview with her about how her mom had a stroke, and she tried to come back from the stroke and just couldn't, and then eventually passed away. And she feels like she owes this to her mom to fight through the injuries because her mom never could. And
mhm.
so she's very driven, and it's super unfortunate that she just had this accident, because she's coming back from a tremendous accident where she
well,
had a massive knee injury.
well, she has
Um,
a partially replaced knee. She has
yeah,
metal in her
that's
knee,
right.
and
That's
the
right.
unfortunate thing is she hurt her left knee in this one, just a sprain. I mean, it's not devastating, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
you
just
can
enough to be a
imagine
problem for this Olympics.
her first race is on Super Bowl Sunday, February 8th. And I
Yeah,
just have to imagine a week is not enough time to heal a sprained knee when you're talking about the kind of speeds that you're going. She's going
they're gonna
75
have to
miles an hour
shoot her up with some
and
something.
wraps, do lots of wraps.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and lots of ice.
She's 41 years old. It's an incredible
Mhm.
story for her to
It
even
is.
make the Olympic team at this age and to have been, this is her fourth Olympics now. What an incredible story she is.
Yeah.
Jessie Diggins,
Yep.
she's cross country skiing. She's our best shot. You can see she has a gold, a silver, and a bronze.
Yep.
This is also her fourth Olympics.
Yeah,
So we
she's
have a lot
fantastic.
of great veterans, especially on the women's side, that are coming back. And she said this is her last rodeo. And so she really wants to go for it. It'll be fun to see if
Yep.
she can get it done.
She's the one I was talking about with who had a problem with she had an eating disorder,
Hmm.
and she talks about perseverance and working through that, and she wrote a book about it, and it was very brave of her to come out, and she talked about how she's one of the favorites. I mean, she has a gold, and
Hmm.
to for her to look up to all the Olympic athletes growing up and to think of them as superhumans, and then to become one and realize, hey, I got problems too. And
It's true.
I don't always feel like working out and lifting and doing all this stuff and rehabbing when I get injured. I'm just upset about it. I'd rather go eat a pizza and relax like everyone else is.
Right.
She talks about the struggles of being a regular person, but a super athlete in one area and just working that with discipline. So it was really cool. She wrote a book about it. You guys should go check out her book.
That's great. Yeah. She's really inspiring. Really, all these athletes are. If you think about
Yeah,
Robbie, we might
yeah,
not win the Winter Olympics, but we come in second or third and we do really, really well. And these athletes are impressive. They really are.
yeah, that's right.
The next one is the most decorated skier on the women's side for the U.S. ever.
No, of all time.
Yeah, and that's
Of
Michaela
any
Schifrin.
side. She's the most decorated Olympian of any kind on skis.
And she's got two golds and a silver, and she's got six world championships.
Yeah.
She does both the Super G and the slalom. And so she's really dominant on a lot of those downhill disciplines. So
She
have to
has
think that
over she has over 100 wins.
I saw her little bio that NBC did on her. It was really well done and
Hmm.
talked about how she really was kind of a geeky little kid. She was not very athletic till she was about 14. And then she took an interest in skiing. They got her some lessons and she just took off after that. And so, really funny that she was kind of a nerdy little kid and became this dominant Olympic athlete.
You know what's funny is
Michaela
I've
Schifrin.
I've seen a lot of the interviews and a lot of them I'm hearing a big parallel between skating and skiing. Aaron Jackson, for instance, was a ice skater, um, a figure skater who decided I'm gonna try speed skating. And
Hmm.
then Michaela Schifrin did some ice skating, and so I mean there's a lot of crossover in these winter sports where people try things. It's very cool.
It
But
is.
yeah, Schifrin is probably the one I'm looking forward to the most of
She is
all.
so fun to watch. She is so
Yeah,
fun. Yeah,
her and then our male uh figure skater Ilya
right.
Milan
Absolutely. So
Milan
next is Chloe Kim.
Milan.
She dominated 2022 and 2018. She won both golds. She has revolutionized the sport of snowboarding. The
Yeah,
type of air and aerial, incredible tricks that she does. The air and the incredible tricks that she does really are astounding to watch. And I know everyone in the world who's a snowboarder who's trying to do
yeah.
the half pipe and full pipe tricks that she does are really copying Chloe Kim. So
Her
she's
nickname
trying.
is Queen of the Half Pipe.
That's right. And
Yeah.
so she's trying to become a three-time gold medalist, which would be really exciting to watch. Do you like watching snowboarding, Robbie?
I do. I do. It's something I've never gotten into personally, the snowboarding part of it, but I certainly appreciate how much work that takes. I'm really excited about Michaela Schifrin. I
Me
am
too. Me too.
I think, I'm hearing everybody who follows that Olympics calls her the GOAT. So
But
she's she's kind of like our Michael
snowboarding,
Phelps of skiing.
one thing I'll say about snowboarding that's really fun is the amount of height they get off of those jumps and the different things they do in the air. It's really cool to watch. It's very athletic.
Yeah,
So
that's right.
that sport's
Yeah,
really come
snowboarding
along.
stuff.
Some others, Jalen Koff,
Hmm.
freestyle skiing, got a silver 4 years ago, is coming back to try to win the gold. So good to see him. Alex Hall, freestyle skiing, got the gold 4 years ago, a really great
Hmm.
skier. Red Gerards in snowboarding. He's the male who's taken over from some of the old champions that we used to have. He's our new entrant on the male side for snowboarding. Corey Thesey, who's the curling national champion for women. She's going to be on the women's team and on the co-ed team with another man from the U.S. So she really gives us a really good shot at a curling
That's
medal, either
cool.
on the women's side or the co-ed team. So we'll see how she can do. Corey Dropkin is the national champion on the men's side for curling, and these two are going to pair up for the co-ed competition, which will be cool to see.
Nice.
Charlie McAvoy for the ice hockey team. We've got six all-stars on this team from the NHL.
Hmm.
McAvoy's one of them. Brady Kachuk,
Yeah,
Matthew Kachuk.
love the Kachek brothers.
Yeah, really fun to see. And I thought they did really well for us 4 years ago as well. We really were competitive in that tournament.
Yeah, it was
Um,
so cool. In the four what was it called? The four Nations
Yes.
hockey tournament.
Yep.
When we went to go play Canada, the Kachuk brothers just dropped their gloves before the game even started and started
That's
fighting.
right. That's
It was
right.
so wild.
They're the heartbeat of this team, I think. That's what it
Yeah,
feels like.
yeah, for
They're from
sure.
Minnesota. So Campbell Wright from the biathlon. This is one of your favorite events. What
Yes.
is it about that event you like?
Well, I like shooting sports, and just to add in doing a cardio event that's difficult, the cross country skiing part. You'd arrive there breathing hard, and I'm telling you, firing a weapon when you're breathing hard is so difficult.
Did you notice
The-
they always take one breath? They kind of breathe in, breathe out before they shoot.
oh,
I guess they're trying to calm their breath a
they
little
have
bit.
to master their breathing to keep a steady hand and to hit those targets. And you
Hmm.
have to hit the target with one shot.
Hmm. Yeah. I can't wait to see that event. I really enjoy that. That's the kind of event you'll never see any other time of the year,
Yeah, I
except for
know.
the Winter Olympics. Yeah.
You're not gonna be at an American ski resort like on the East Coast, snowshoe or anything like that, and just run into people doing biathlon. You're just not gonna
Hmm.
see it, you know?
That's right. So Alex Ferreira was the silver medalist in freestyle skiing 4 years ago. He lost by the smallest margin in Winter Olympics history to a Finnish skier.
Hmm.
And I saw his interview the other day, and he was talking about how he's just been completely obsessed for 4 years, going back to the Olympics and getting the gold this time. So I wouldn't want to get in the way of Alex Ferreira. He's really determined to to get that medal. He also got a bronze 8 years ago in his first Olympics. So we'll see if he can get it done. And then Quinn Dellinger, who's a freestyle skier as well, joins Alex on that really strong team for the U.S. A lot of these guys train in Colorado, the freestyle skiers. So we've got a good shot at some medals there. So, any overall thoughts about the U.S. team?
Um, it's going to be, I think we have a really good shot. You never know how people are going to perform on a given day. Like I said, they work their whole life and then it comes down to 28 seconds or something. There's always a lot of heartbreak and disappointment. You see the families crying, but trying to be strong for their loved one that's disappointed. But I really feel pretty good about the American team. I think we're strong in a lot of areas. We have a lot of experience, a lot of successes. These people have tasted victory and defeat. That's going to drive them when it's time to have the gates open or whatever. I like our chances. I think we're not gonna be number one or two probably, but we could get top five in medals and golds. And I think that should be our goal is to
Would it
compete
shock
with
you if
Germany and the
this
Scandinavian countries
would it
and
shock you if this
Switzerland.
team overperformed and we won the medal count? Would that shock you?
I think we're going to do decently in medals. I think there are going to be some new little sports heroes coming out of this on the Wheaties box and with social media. I remember last year, last Olympics, some of the social media personalities that exploded out of it, like the Mahar, the girls rugby player, had
Hmm.
a massive following. A lot of the players came out of the Olympics and turned it into a big time um, branding. So I'm excited to see, who ends up. I'd love to have one or two of them on our show here, and let's do an
And
interview
that's what's so cool,
post
Robbie,
Olympics.
is there's going to be people we did not show in these two slides that are going to be coming out of nowhere that are going to win medals and that are going to be now household names after two
Oh
weeks.
yeah,
What a cool
yeah,
thing that is.
yeah. I mean, you couldn't show everybody. Like Ilya Malinin is
Mm-hmm.
probably our best shot in ice skating,
Mm-hmm.
and we couldn't show him. They call him the Quad God, and I think that he's got a real shot. But in ice skating is one of those nerve-wracking things where people fall. People
And our ice dancers, I
don't
didn't show
know.
them, but they've got a real shot. We have really good ice dancers. So I don't
Yeah,
know. We'll see. See what
yeah.
happens. Looking at Team USA on the map, Robbie, this was interesting. 35 states represented, 15 states that were not sending an
Yep.
athlete. North and South Carolina both did not have one. I thought that was interesting. The most of every state was Colorado with 31. Second was Minnesota with 24. So those are very much ski locations, of course.
Hmm.
California with 19. You even had a couple from Texas and from Florida. Thought that was kind of interesting. You have a lot of people coming from the Northeast. You're
But
talking
if you look at
Pennsylvania.
the map, it makes sense. Most of the South is not represented. Most
Hmm.
of and the
I mean,
people
those.
who probably moved to those states, or who come from those states, those warm states, probably moved there from the north. So,
Mhm.
that's really probably what happened.
We had three Virginians. That's kind of neat. Alaskans. Any surprise here of where the athletes are coming from?
Not really. It makes total sense. 15 Michigan, you know,
Yep.
24
And Colorado
Minnesota.
being the first. I mean, there are a lot of really great resorts in Colorado. If you're going to be an
Yeah.
Olympic athlete, that'd be the place to be, I think.
Yeah, it gives us our best shot, best mountains.
So I'm wearing my University of Virginia sweatshirt tonight to represent these three. We have three athletes that went to UVA or are still going to UVA. The first one is athlete Mystique Rowe, who is going to be competing in the women's skeleton in the Milan Games. So that's pretty cool to see we got her there.
Hmm.
We've got Brandon Kim, who graduated last year in May from University of Virginia. He is from New York originally, and he won the 2023 World Championships in speed skating. So he's got a real shot, and also does short track. So pretty cool to see Brandon Kim. And then Evan Nichols, who is a Paralympian. He actually competes in the sled hockey. And I don't know if you've seen that, Rob, but they all sit in the sled, all the Paralympians.
Hmm.
And he won the gold with the U.S. 4 years ago in sled hockey in the Paralympics.
Yes.
So pretty cool to see that he also went to Virginia. So thoughts about these three Wahoos?
It's just hard work and like has been talked about, you have to get your life in order if you're gonna control your impulses to not train twice a day, three times a day for, 10 straight years or whatever it takes. Lifting, fighting through injuries, saying no to every friend you have anytime they want to do anything. And it, it all comes down to usually a really short burst of energy that hopefully they do well, and they already make us proud by going, but hopefully they're pleased with their performance when
Well,
it
look
all
out
counts.
for these three especially to see how they do, Robbie, because
Yeah,
it'll be fun to see if any of them medal or come close.
yeah.
That'll be a lot of fun. And like you said, just to think of the dedication you need to have to be able to go to school and make an Olympic team. That's incredible.
It's very admirable. It's very
Yeah.
easy to admire these people, to
We had a
admire the,
lot of
the
Virginia
dedication.
Cavaliers. We had 12 Virginia Cavaliers on the summer team. And the
Hmm.
reason being because we had, a lot of swimmers. We had like seven swimmers.
Yeah.
We had a couple soccer players. We had some track stars, that kind of thing. So
Hmm.
certainly Virginia is much stronger in the summer events, but to see that
Yeah,
we have three is pretty cool.
that is.
So some international athletes to watch. Sidney Crosby, getting towards the end of his career, has had a very storied career both for Team Canada and for the Pittsburgh Penguins in the NHL. So it'll be fun to see what he can do for Canada. Quentin
Mhm.
Philomeo, who's a biathlete. He got the silver 4 years ago. He's kind of one of the guys on the international stage who's really watched for biathlon. Ariana Fontana, short track for Italy. I'm sure she'll have a really good following from the crowd there in short track. Francesco Friedrich from bobsled. I'm not sure why, Robbie, but I noticed the Germans, they kind of dominate in bobsled. They're really
Yeah,
good.
the
And
Germans and the Swiss.
all the sliding events, those two countries
Yeah,
really dominate and win most of the medals.
yeah,
You also have Vinces Geiger for the Nordic combined. What a tough event that is, Robbie. Nordic combined. Oof.
yeah. It is.
Laura Gut Renami for alpine skiing from Switzerland. We mentioned about how the European countries, these are the disciplines they really dominate in.
Yeah,
Imagine if you're an American athlete and you're going up against this, Robbie.
it's
Whew.
intimidating. It
It is
is.
a little.
The only
It is
good
a little.
news, these people all compete against each other in the World Games. They get ready
They
for
all know
this.
each other. Yeah, they
They
do.
know each other. They train together sometimes. Yeah. So
And if you
they're
go up
not complete
against
strangers.
And if you go up against Friedrich and you're in that circuit and you're in the world championships, you know what times you need to beat him. It's going to be really hard, but
Yeah.
You kind of know what you need to do.
And sometimes the conditions aren't suitable for breaking records and doing all that. You're just trying to survive and like get to the next round, and you're not worrying about world records and stuff. And sometimes it's fast, and you're driving yourself, and the level of training has been so exceptional that world records fall, and it's pretty cool.
One of the favorite snowboarders is Scotty James from Australia. I noticed,
Mm.
Robbie, the Australians are good at some of these new high flying type events. Seems like they're good at those
Yeah,
kind of
I
some of
think
the
they
newer
cross
events.
over from surfing, but they have some kind of exposure to cold countries, and
Hmm.
they take up, snowboarding. And I think
Hmm.
they have probably a big background in surfing, if I had to guess.
Probably. Yeah. You got Mikkel Kingsbury freestyle skiing for Canada. Johannes Klabo for Norway in cross country skiing. I got to think that Norway's going to do really well in those types of events.
Yeah.
Esther Ledecka for Czechoslovakia in snowboarding. Marco Odermatt for alpine skiing, Switzerland. Marie-Philippe Poulin from Canada. She's in hockey.
Hmm.
Zoe Sinat from New Zealand, and she's in snowboarding. So, thoughts about the international team and some of the impressive athletes from all over the world.
They're very impressive. A lot of them train all year round. Some of them cross over with American, uh, or they compete against Americans in the World Games and stuff like that. But all the sacrifices that we're talking about is equally as impressive in their countries. I mean, what they're doing is amazing, and it's awe-inspiring, and it's very cool to see people compete hard within the rules, and to see their dream as well. Anytime I see an American win, I always remember somebody just had, the worst, most disappointing run for another country, and I feel kind of bad for them for a second, but it's awesome. There's so much talent around the world, and this is where you get to see it all stack up against each other.
Other than the country you're born in Europe, what are some other reasons why it seems like some countries are good at some disciplines and not at others? I mean, like, for instance, in the summer games, you always have in all the swimming events, US versus Australia. In almost every event, it's those two countries. In the winter
Warm
events,
countries,
it's
warm
Germany,
countries.
it's Switzerland, it's Norway, it's Czechoslovakia. It's
I think generally speaking, in the winter games, it's all the countries that have Alps plus Germany, you know, and Scandinavian countries don't have Alps, but they have lots of mountain ranges, and they have snow nonstop, and they have
lots of
summers
ski
that are
resorts. Yeah,
1 week long and stuff.
yeah.
Lots of ski resorts. They ski all over the world, all over their countryside. They don't have a lot of distractions, and they can really focus on being athletic, and
And
it's
don't you think
it's
it's
cool.
also coaching? I mean, it's not just that these are great athletes. There's
Yeah,
great athletes everywhere, but it's also coaching. They've got great
coaching.
coaching in these countries.
Yeah, because they have the people that went before them turning into their mentors,
Mm-hmm.
and they have a rich history of excelling in these sports, and then they become coaches in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and they can train you on what it's going to take to lift
Mm-hmm.
in the right, work out the right muscle groups, get the right training, the right diet, work through personal problems. They can advise you on juggling family. They can advise you on the sacrifices you're going to make, and they're going to keep you focused because they did it. And so you'll listen when one of these coaches tells you that
Mm-hmm.
you need to train all summer somewhere else or whatever. It's nonstop travel. You hear about these people have um, systems for dealing with jet lag because they're on planes so much, and they're in different
Mm-hmm.
time zones and around the world. Like there's all kinds of things that go into this, sacrifices, and
It's true.
to have a mentor is tremendous. Instead of ending up landing there and then having no idea how to navigate some of these things.
It's true. Here's some more. We got Kari Sakamoto from figure skating for Japan. Paul Poirier from Canada for figure skating. Stefania Constantini curling for Italy. Piper Gills, figure skating for Canada. She's apparently one of the favorites on the women's side. Wolfgang Kindi from Austria for luge. Amos Mossonier from Italy for curling. Bruce Murat from Great Britain for curling. I've noticed Great Britain is getting into curling a little bit more here lately.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Svasvenig, ski jumping
Softening.
for Austria. Yuma Kajiyama for Japan in figure skating. And then Miho Takagi for speed skating for Japan as well. And you notice that there's a theme there from Japan. They're really good in the skating events.
Mm-hmm.
So any surprises here
They're
about some of the
amazing.
strengths? Yeah.
No, the countries actually match a lot of expectations of who's good in what sport usually,
Mm-hmm.
and it makes total sense.
It does. Here's a fun picture of how fun these athletes have it when they're over there. Not just is it fun to win, which this bobsled team did 4 years ago, but just the camaraderie they get at the Olympic Village. It's really heartwarming to see these young people as they come together from all over the world.
Yeah, it
What a
takes
great
a lot. Takes a lot to win a gold medal as a team. I'll tell
what
you.
a great thing for world peace and world camaraderie and world
Yeah,
sport, right?
yeah, it stands for, you know, the best things in the world that we can all agree on, which is merit-based,
Mm-hmm.
fair competitiveness, and everyone trying your hardest to prepare and doing it. And when you get sort of shunned for being a bad actor on the world stage, it hurts.
So I wanted to talk a little bit about Olympic logistics and equipment. We never talk about it, but we never really think about it. We just watch the games and we enjoy them. But what we don't think about is what it takes to move the amount of equipment, clothing, and everything else to take a U.S. Olympic team overseas. And Delta is the official partner this year, and they've been flying all the equipment over for weeks over to Italy to get staged and set up. You can see to the top left there all the different sleds that have been coming from all over the world to Cortina to be ready for the bobsled and the luge events. It's an entire warehouse of equipment. It's unbelievable if you think
It is
about it.
amazing.
And you see down below, that's just all the clothing packages from the United States athletes only. It's essentially a whole warehouse of U.S. athletes,
It's
clothing and
almost like
equipment.
it's almost like a war, you know?
It is. I was just thinking of what are the logistics to get an
It's like
Olympic
a
team over there?
I bet you we have military people working with them on logistically moving all the supplies.
Yeah. And then you look at this, you got every athlete has three different uniforms. They have one that's their competition uniform, and then they have two dress uniforms that they're supposed to wear around the village to represent the country. One is white, one is white, red, white, and blue.
Hmm.
So it's incredible what these teams have to take over. You can see over here to the right, you have oversized gear handling, you've got secure transit, you have to think about medical and support supplies and shipments. So they apparently ship stuff over that is one is clothing, the next shipment is equipment, the next is luges and bobsleds, and then the next is medical supplies, that kind of thing.
Hmm.
Like you said, it is almost like going to war. It really is.
Yeah.
So you have some of the official companies that have sponsored this year: Ralph Lauren, Nike, Under Armour, and of course Delta being the official flyer of all the equipment over. Any thoughts about what it's like to logistically move an Olympic team?
I think you did a good job of putting that together. It gives you a good sense of things that you take for granted. When we turn our TVs on, we don't think of this stuff, but this is what it took to get there. It's kind of like moving a big football team or something along those lines, times 5 or 10 or whatever.
I think it's pretty cool
It's
that Delta repainted all their planes Team USA for this year.
yeah,
That was pretty cool.
yeah,
I like that. I don't know what
yeah.
that cost the company to do, but
Mm.
kind of a cool little touch there. So be thinking about when you guys watch this Olympic, guys, what it takes to put this on. It's a big production.
That's right.
All right, so Robbie, here's the big question, man. What events are you looking forward to the most? Here's the schedule. You got at the top there the
Mm.
ceremonies on the 6th and 22nd. And then you've got all the other events. You've got alpine skiing has 10, biathlon, your event that kicks off on Sunday the 8th, happens throughout the 2 weeks. Bobsled happens the second week. cross country skiing, curling. Every single day there's some kind of curling event, which I love. Figure skating, freestyle skiing, ice hockey, luge, etc. So what are you looking forward
I
to the
want to
most
see if
during
we
these 2
can
weeks?
break the drought in women's figure skating. I want to see the biathlon. Can we be competitive? I love bobsledding. Um, what else? Luge is always really exciting. Hockey, I feel like we're competitive. We should medal, or better. Skeleton, it's been out of the games for a while. I'm excited to watch that. Skimo, definitely a tremendous addition
I've got
to
to
this.
watch that just because I've never seen it before.
Yeah,
That looks really
same.
cool.
I've seen videos of it, but I've never watched it live. And speed skating is always really cool.
I like speed skating. Yeah.
There's short track, long track. There's all these different ways of doing it.
I enjoy the short track and the long track. I
I
really
do
think they're
too.
both really fun
I do
disciplines.
too. They're a
Yeah.
different um, form, but there's so much of this. I mean, I'm looking forward to all of it. I can't wait to turn it on and see what's next, you know?
It's going to be a lot of fun. I really love curling. I love hockey. I love
I
the
mean, it's good to see
freestyle
if can
skiing.
Lindsey Vonn shake off her injury. Can
Yep.
Schifrin live up to her expectations?
Hmm.
You know, can we do well in figure skating, men's and women's?
When I look at
So
this
much,
list, there's
so
really
much.
nothing I don't enjoy watching. I like all of it. I like
Me
all the
too.
sliding events. Yeah, it's going to
Me
be a lot
too.
of fun. So,
There's
guys,
not
drop
one,
us a comment.
not one event.
Drop us a comment, Rob and me, on which of these events you're most looking forward to, and tell us, what you're rooting for to happen. Obviously, we want Team USA, but let us know what
Also,
you're looking
drop us
forward
a
to.
comment and tell us what country you're from. If you're from somewhere other than the US, what are
Yeah,
you looking forward to? What are your countrymen gonna, hopefully excel in and do well? And let us know so we can keep an eye out for those superior athletes because we want to be cheering for good performances from all over the world. So
100%. Well, let's go Team USA. And for all you who are not from the USA, I hope your countries do well too, and that we have a fantastic Olympics. I know we're going to have a lot of fun watching it, and we will report to you in our weekend updates coming up on what the medal count's looking like, and we'll talk about some of the big performances. So. All right, Robbie. Well, as we close out that portion, are you ready to go look at a couple clips from our Norway episode? We're going to look at a couple clips of you doing some fun athletic
yeah,
events. The
let's
first one is us driving the little cars around up and down a mountain. Then we're going to look at you doing the bobsled run, which was really cool to watch.
yeah, that
And
was
we'll,
amazing.
and we'll show what the kind of speed it was. And then we're going to look at you doing the zip line down the long ski jump. And then we'll come back and close it out. You ready?
Nice. Yeah.
You can see just unbelievable views. We actually came in here 2 days ago on a ship into the same port, so.
And I'm not sure you can pick up on it too much from the video, but there's gorgeous waterfalls all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Up there, over there.
Ready to roll. Here we go. This is our e-mobile tour.
Here we go.
Pretty pumped to try one of these things.
Fun.
Let's see how this goes. Tommy's got my little Santa troll. This is my car right here. And getting in.
These cars were so cool. It was fascinating because it had a little
All right, we'll film from the top.
instruction video thing next you could watch.
We are rolling.
And,
I'm going to show you in a second. There's Tommy right behind me. You see him? There he is.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to flip these views. All right, let's see what this thing can do. Tommy, what do you think?
Incredible.
Are we having fun with our walkie-talkies?
We want to get one of these back at Birkdale and Raleigh.
Yeah, let's do it. This is a blast, and we're talking on the walkies.
It's literally
Tommy,
the
come
only
in.
way to see this area. It's great.
Yeah, cool. See you soon.
So right now we're riding up the mountain in one of these little e-mobility bikes. A lot of fun. We're going all the way to the top. There's Robbie right ahead of me. See him there?
things have really good handling.
Bucket
It was
list.
so much fun.
Ride an e-mobile bike all the way up a Norwegian
It
mountain.
has people tying themselves in knots with ammunition.
You can hear the lady who
It was
talked
built in 1882 to gain height and traverse obstacles in the terrain when the Lillehammer Road was built. This beautiful.
Did you learn quite a bit from her listening to her?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I thought she was interesting. You know, even though
She was
was
very interesting little tour guide.
I thought so too.
Yeah, it was so cool listening to all the history of the mountain.
Itself with a bridge, and the engineers were awarded a gold medal for it at the World Exhibition in Paris in 1900. Big
It was one of my favorite
buses
parts of the
are
trip.
banned from this beautiful structure, but with the
So much
Twizy,
fun.
it's not a problem. So you have another reason to smile. You, the old knot, and the super modern Twizy clearly make for a perfect picture. See
That's what it was called, was a Twizy.
All right, Robbie, what did you think of that, man? All the way to the top. What did you think of that?
Oh man, that was awesome. That was so fun.
Is there any better way to go to the top in Gehringer?
Not really.
You got the lady telling us a little tour and
Yeah, it's a talking car. It tells you like
so much fun.
about
Rob,
all the different mountains.
Rob had his little car. This was my little car on the way up here. And then Rob's little friend in the back, the little gnome guy. But look how beautiful.
You went
this
everywhere,
is.
man.
Unbelievable up here.
Yeah.
All the way at the top. You got the snow-capped mountains up there. Just incredible. Let's go take some pics.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. This is the bobsled.
There it is.
Man, that was so fast.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That was crazy. It was fun.
All right, here we went on the bobsled. This was so fun. We were going, I don't know, 75 miles an hour, whatever it was. And I'll tell you what, there were two turns where the G's were so strong that my helmet was pinned to the floor where my feet were. And I'm not exaggerating. It was incredible. It was so fast. And we had our driver, our pilot was a woman from the Norwegian team. And that was just an absolutely thrilling ride. So fun. And that was a good amount of adrenaline, I'll tell you that.
There it is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That was crazy. It was fun.
All right, Tom and Rob from the Sports Guys are here with you guys. We made it to Lillehammer. This is the site of the 1994 Winter Olympics, and we're at the bottom of the ski jump, which is one of my favorite events. So, Rob, what do you think of Lillehammer so far?
It's amazing. What a set of facilities they built here. And I clearly remember these Olympics. It was awesome. It was so much fun. The equipment, I mean, you get chills a little bit, you know what I mean?
It's just incredible. We're standing at the bottom of this. It's a really cool event. And we saw a couple other facilities coming in. We saw the oval for ice skating. We saw the one for speed skating. We actually just did the wheel bob. Rob and Jake did that, and it was fun. And
So basically bobsled run.
So we're going to just explore the town. It's a really cool place, and Olympics were here, so it gives it a special feel.
Hey guys, I'm at the top of the Lillehammer ski jump. As you can see, there's a little area where the skiers come out of, and they go straight out and down there. It's pretty awesome. Man, a little out of breath. There's a lot of stairs. It's fun though. See ya.
Guys, here we made it to Oslo, and we are at the ski jump. And Rob's about to try the zip line all the way down. It's going to feel like a ski jumper. It's going to be really cool. Yesterday, of course, he did some really cool stuff, including the wheel bob, but today's the ski jump. So,
It's gonna be wild.
you excited about this, Robbie?
I'm excited. Hopefully the footage comes out good.
Glad to be in Oslo.
Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice city.
You
Glad
got-
we're getting some more time.
You guys get to see a little bit of it because he's also going to take his GoPro, which is there on his wrist. So we're going to see some really cool footage of it. Here we go.
Yeah, baby. Woo!
So fun.
Oh man. That's so cool. Awesome. Okay, here we go.
Halfway done there.
Let's
Here goes
go.
Robbie.
Perfect. And
Yeah.
just lean your head a little bit to the side because
Which
of
side?
there. Perfect.
Oh, this side. Okay.
Okay. In 3, 2, 1.
All right, here we go. Here's
know what's
Rob at
interesting
the
about
zip
that?
line.
How'd
Awesome
you love it?
ski jump.
I mean, that was an incredible thing, I'll tell
Look
you.
at this. Robbie. Yeah. Look at that.
You know what's interesting was she said you can hang on to the handles if you want. But I remember thinking my GoPro is not going to film very well. She said it's okay to let go of the handles. You might spin a little though. And that's what I did. But as I was getting on towards the end, I had spun facing up the hill a little bit. I reached back up and pulled myself back around so I could engage the brakes towards the bottom.
So Robbie, those give you some memories, man. In Norway,
Yeah.
we did the ski bob. You did the zip line down the hill. We did the little cars up and down the mountain
Little
in
cars.
Norway.
Yeah.
And then just being
in,
there in Lillehammer. I mean, when you're in an Olympic city, there's something special about it.
Yeah, there's so much history there. You remember them doing the lighting ceremony. And I remember standing up where the torch was, the cauldron where the Olympic flame is burning. And you could look out and see this gorgeous, it looked like an incredible scenery from a movie or something. And it was just their backdrop of what the athletes would look at when they were
Mhm.
competing. It was so cool.
You know, we
What a
talked
beautiful
about
country.
how much we want to go back to Norway and do the North, and we got to do that one year. It's such an incredible country.
But I don't think anybody can visit Norway and wonder why they're good at the Winter Olympics.
I know.
It's not possible
It's
to
true.
still not understand.
Why do they win? That's why. There's Olympic events everywhere. So.
Yeah. So much
Well, that
fun.
was fun watching you, man, doing some active sports. I mean, you
Yeah.
know, maybe your future Winter Olympics, maybe the senior circuit or something.
Probably
But
not.
guys, drop us a comment what you thought of Rob doing all these really fun events in foreign capitals. Just let us know what you think.
It was cool to just kind of put yourself mentally in the shoes of an athlete for a split second. And just to feel the adrenaline rush and then multiply that by 50 because theirs is way more intense.
We got a little bit of a
a lot of
sense for
fun.
it because you really were in a true bobsled with a real bobsled driver who's an Olympian. So you
Yeah.
really felt what that felt like, the G forces you talked about. And
Right.
me
Oh, they
watching
were
it,
amazing.
me watching it from the side, watching the speed you were going was incredible.
Yeah, it was. It was.
And then to see you zip line down a place that people ski jump off of and fly all the way down the hill in the air for like 10 seconds. It's
Yeah, and honestly, when you're
mind-boggling.
doing it, your mindset is imagining skis are on your feet and you're going down it and you're sort of envisioning it full of snow and the stands are packed and you just
And they're
can't even
going
believe it.
crazy. They're going crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you feel real small because it's such an
You
incredibly
think the people going
incredible.
crazy like that help them on ski day? Because most of the time they train, there's nobody there. I wonder if that
I
helps
do
them.
because I think they have to reach down a little deep to get that explosive jump off the end to get the kind of flight that they're after.
Mhm.
And in each case, these athletes are reaching down for a special place that they have to overcome fear, to overcome the ability of, you know,
And you're trying to do the jump of your life, whether you're on the ski
yeah,
jump or whether in the Summer Olympics you're in the pool doing the 100-meter dash.
yeah, and a lot of them just got hurt a year ago, 2 years ago, within an inch of their life kind of injuries. And it takes a lot of courage to come back from the PTSD. A lot of them talk about the PTSD they experienced
Mhm.
of massive knee injuries, massive injuries in general that it takes courage to come back from and do it
Mhm.
again, get back on the horse, so to speak. So very fascinating trip that we got to go enjoy an Olympic scene, do some activities that are similar to what Olympians do, and to go to such a beautiful country where these are some of the most competitive countries in the world at these events. So very cool.
So much fun seeing you do it. And guys, thank you so much for joining tonight on this journey, getting ready for the Winter Olympics this week. The opening ceremonies Friday night. We'll be covering all of it with you guys and bringing you all the reports and watching the medal count and talking about how the U.S. and other countries are doing. And just thank you so much for tuning in again. And we're really excited for this Olympics.
We're so pumped. We hope you are. Hopefully when you watch these kind of videos, it gets you a little bit prepared, a little ready. So not every single sporting event is an enigma or something you haven't seen before. Hopefully we helped a little bit, and we had a lot of fun putting this together. We've been preparing it for a while, and we've certainly been looking forward to it from the last Olympics. And we always enjoy it a lot because we got to travel a lot and meet people from a lot of these countries and go to a lot of these countries, and it really helps understand how they're so dominant in these different events. Makes sense usually.
So guys, drop us comments throughout the week on this video. As you watch an event, something you really enjoy, just drop it on this video as a comment. We'd like to read it on the air next time we get together. And again, thank you so much for joining. Please like and subscribe the video, and we'll see you next time on the Sports Guys. Enjoy the Olympics.
Enjoy them. See you.
See you, everybody.